It worked.
How about it? All right.
All right.
All right. Yo, it is another edition of the High Hopes podcast. Was that maybe a little too much of a yo for Whit Merrifield, Jack? No, it wasn't, because I freaking heard of Whit Merrifield and they signed him. They did a thing, buddy. How are ya? What? I'm alive. How are things?
I know. I had to do a whole solo pod by myself the other night.
I know. I was way worse the other night. I'm doing much better. Much better. Unfortunately, my family is doing less better. So
yeah,
they're sick upstairs.
Cycle.
Yes. And it's all my fault. So good time.
No, I'm glad to see that you're doing much better. You look pretty healthy. You know, I do. At one point, you said you could not leave your bed, not even to watch a movie.
It was tough. Well, the first day it was tough. I eventually got to movies and then went on an epic run. The next 2 days, I was in the basement by myself, trying not to get my wife and daughter sick. That worked out great. No, but the first day was rough. Second day was, I was sick, but and then yesterday and today I feel fine. So we're in good shape, buddy.
All right. And to make everything that much better, Whit Merrifield's a Philly. Whit
Merrifield's a Philly. And how many years have we been talking about Whit Merrifield being a Philly?
Dude, I was going to bring this up, but it's like the amount of Fritz guys that they've signed in the last week. I mean, Turnbull,
David
Dahl, my guy. Woo! I mean, definitely.
I've overdrafted him in fantasy. Core's out. Dude's going to go nuts in Core's speed. He can hit. Let's go.
I mean, he was at one point dubbed Colorado Ted Williams.
Yes,
I believe.
I thought he was the next Cargo, man. It didn't work out.
No, dude, I loved David Dahl back in the day. Listen for a little minor league signing with some upside for sure.
There were definitely a few weeks where I was not upset he was on my fantasy team. He had a couple moments.
He was an all-star in 2019, man.
Was he really? I didn't realize that.
He's an all-star in 2019. Who could forget that David Dahl run? So, yes. I mean, between Turnbull, Dahl, and Whit Merrifield, it's a good way to reel your boy back in. I mean, Whit Merrifield has been a part of a perfect offseason. I think every offseason besides this
both of ours. We've definitely both put him in perfect off seasons for sure.
Because he was perfect.
And we've talked about trading for him at the deadline multiple times. Like, he has been a Phillies target. And look, why not? He's when you've got a hole, let's get Whit Merrifield to fill it. So
I know.
All right. Let's dive in. You doing good, by the way?
Yeah, doing good.
You're all healthy and good in the household. I love it. Beautiful thing.
Yes.
Beautiful thing. Your last few weeks of your 20s, by the way. How you holding up?
No, so I did start to think about that.
I mean, get ready, buddy. Old jokes coming your way.
We are under 30 days of left in my 20s.
I know.
And I have already decided the 30s are going to be my decade. I'm excited for the 30s.
I believe it. I mean, well, you're really like a 50-year-old in a 29-year-old's body as it is. So,
Correct.
You're just going to be the most well put together 30-year-old, like way ahead of it. When everyone's like wanting to be like dad guy, you're going to have been dad guy for just years and kicking butt at it. So
come step into my office, come on over.
Yeah.
I'll teach you how we did things around
Welcome
here.
in. Yeah. Yes, I am wearing a flannel. Thank you for noticing.
Yes.
Sit down.
Yes.
It'll be nice.
Hey, maybe we'll sit outside by the fire and I'll make you some chili.
Right. Yeah.
I'll make you some chili in my Dutch oven. Yes. Hey, maybe we'll go camping. We'll really disconnect.
This is good. Yes, get away from everything, other than Philly scores, of course.
And then as soon as March 29th hits,
Jack's in the corner of the tent with his phone watching the Phillies. It's great.
Well, I did watch the Halladay. I watched the Halladay perfect game from the bank of the Delaware River.
I totally believe it.
We were taking canoes down in the Delaware and then camping off to the side. So yes, that's where I watched their.
If anyone wonders how dedicated you are, I mean,
heard about the Halladay, Halladay perfect game in Miami. Yes, of course I missed it.
All right, let's get into it because I don't have that much time. I have two sick women upstairs. But Look, so 1 year, it's 7 million, but there's a $1 million buyout for it. So it's ultimately 1 year, 8 million. I think maybe only 7 against the tax. So I don't know how that works. It's an interesting thing. Regardless, like when I saw the signing, it was just like, yeah, that's perfect. Like the perfect amount for the guy. Like, yes, hey guys, guess what? I know he's 35 years old. I know that. I know that he's not the Whit Merrifield he was even 3 years ago. I get it. But like, for what? He's a bench guy. Like, this is the exact guy the Phillies needed for this role. We talked about a right-handed bat, a guy who could put the bat on the ball when you need someone to go up and just put a freaking ball in play. You know who's better at it than almost anyone in baseball the last 10 years? With freaking Merrifield. He can play multiple positions, a few of them at a pretty good level. Like, I thought, so Jack, here's where I'll start.
Okay.
I love it. I think it's a perfect little move right now. And yes, maybe we're a little overexcited because we haven't had moves, but I was shocked how many people didn't seem to like it. I expected to log on and be like, Whit Merrifield party. And there's a lot of backlash. Where are you at on the Whit thing?
So I think it's a home run. I mean, he doesn't hit many home runs.
Me too. Yes, not anymore. He'll get you like 10 if he play. Not maybe not when he's not playing every day, but
I just, there's been one too many Josh Harrison like comps out of nowhere, which I find just absurd. Like, can we just maybe? All right, this is gonna sound. Hey, I'm entering my 30s, so like, this might sound old manny of me.
Oh, don't worry, you're in the right place for that, buddy.
Turn on the tape. And get off the baseball reference for me one time.
Seriously.
So I just listen. I think it's a really smart signing. Probably can't play center field anymore.
No. But he could play left for sure.
And the thing about Rojas insurance, you could play Martian center. Like he came up as a center fielder, so it's not about like Whit Merrifield can play center field. He is a. I just for $8 million. I know that they're getting close to the luxury tax, the third one, but like we can't do the whole like spend money thing, and then when it gets to this point, it's like, well, hold on. Like we are in a World Series window. Whit Merrifield fills a lot of holes for this team. He can, like, let's say we get into a postseason series, he's not starting, but he can come off the bench late and steal a bat. He had 26 stolen bases. He's
like still a really good runner, just base runner. Period. Like he's a smart base runner, good base runner, gets extra bags. Like he's an asset there.
Of course. So like last year,
and again can play left field, can play any infield position outside of shortstop for you if you need it. Play second at a high level, third. He'll get by there. Not great. But the point is, like, he's a versatile piece. We just saw in the postseason how much having a guy where you can put in different spots at different times in different situations matters.
Well, and I just think that I think he can put the bat on the baseball. Obviously, he has the second most hits in baseball since 2017. And like, listen, he had that. And I did do a deep dive into his year last year. So he had up at his first.
I looked at his. I definitely did the baseball savant thing and all that.
Well, but if you look at his first 115 games, pretty large sample size, right? I think we can say that's pretty good. He's batting over 300. He's batting 300 with a 343 OBP. He had like a 760 OPS, and he had 130 hits. Like, so, and then he had a groin injury that hampered him for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
So the last 31 games, he batted 170. So completely derailed his season. So what the opportunity.
And by the way, still ended batting 270 something for the season. Like it's not like he had a horrible season when you look at the numbers,
But like they're going to be able to keep him more fresh. They're not going to play him every day. Like he started for the Blue Jays. He was playing a ton. That's not going to be the case here. It's going to be, okay, there's a tough lefty on the mound. We'll sit Brandon Marsh. Or if Johan Rojas, and this does not deter the plans they have for Johan Rojas. It's just they're protecting themselves a little bit, which they have to do. Like I thought it would be moronic to enter into a season.
It would be malpractice.
Yes. Like just, I was so shocked at the reaction to it, where it's like, it's very obvious he fills a ton of needs for this team. Like, is he going to be a Gold Glover? No. Is he going to hit 1 million home runs? No. But they also don't really always need that. They need someone that they can trust. And I think he's someone that you'll be able to trust. And if you get him off his feet, and he's not playing every day, and you play him, I mean, how many games for Whit Merrifield next year?
I was 90?
90 to 100?
Yeah, somewhere. I was thinking 190, somewhere in that range. Yeah.
And you get the best version of Whit. And listen, man, he also could just start going off, and you can kind of put him in the lineup and let him stay there for a little bit. The one thing,
because guys will get hurt. He's a guy you can fill in when that happens too. Like all that stuff. You got to think about guys. Let me be the first to say it this year. It's a marathon, not a sprint. The season.
Thank you.
It's a long season. It's a really long season. It's a long season. It's long.
But the one thing I'm interested in is like second base is probably his best spot. I wonder.
Yeah, it's definitely his best spot.
If they're gonna do the Stott versus lefty thing again, where we got so annoyed by him.
They better not. They can't. They won't do it. Nope. I think what it'll be is when Stott needs an off day, they'll kind of schedule it when like, oh, look, they're going up against Chris Sale or whatever, some lefty who really is good against left-handed hitters or whatever.
Oh, yeah, Chris Sale's a brave.
I tried to think of the first one in the division that popped in my head. I'm not scared of Chris Sale at all, but just an example.
He's still nasty.
But the point being, you know what I mean? Like, I think they'll look for those opportunities, but I think Stott's too important and too good.
Yes. Now, I will be curious, like on days they want to get Bryce off his feet and they put Bohm at first, would they put Stott at third base and put Merrifield at second base? I mean, and turn him back into like a super utility guy.
I think you'll probably see Sosa at third, but I mean, I don't know. I do think what you will see though is like if they want to get Turner off, they'll put they'll put Sosa at short. But I mean, they could also. I'm sorry, they could put Stott at short and play Merrifield at second.
Oh, but hold on. I was told Scott Kingery was ruined by moving him all over the field. It is pretty crazy. They basically. I
love how you just said you could put Stott at third, and I say put him in short, and it's like, whoa, hold up, guys.
Oh, no. Well, I was just joking.
I know you were. They
didn't do that at all last year, though. They kind of just
no. But like the point is, it gives you versatility, especially in a pinch. And like, again, it just allows you and then the DH too, like, look, Schwarber will need off days. Then you could put, if you want to get Turner off his feet for a game, or if you want to get whoever, Harper in the DH spot for a game, like you said, move Bowman. It just gives versatility. And again, there's a bench guy. And if you look at like $8 million, like if you look at the type of signings that have happened this offseason, like Harrison Bader got $10 million, like Jason Hayward got. I'm not hating on Harrison Bader. He's a fine player, but the point is like Jason Hayward got $9 million. Where it's like, it's the right level of player. Like Whit Merrifield is that level of player. Like maybe he's not good defensively as those guys, obviously at their positions, but point being that Merrifield is like, and again, we're all talking about context. It's not just look at the player and the price and the stats. It's look at the fit on the freaking team. What have we talked about all offseason? What's one of the biggest needs we brought up every freaking time? Your Adam Duvall thing. Like, get us a right-handed bat who can come in a pinch and put the bat on the ball or get you a hit or do whatever. And they got the most versatile version of that and probably the best at putting the bat on the ball. That one specific skill that was out there. Like, I'm like so confused that, yes, he's 35. I get it. He is declining. But you know what? He's been the exact same player the last 3 years. Prior to that, he was, all-star Whit Merrifield. I know he was an all-star last year, but come on. But I guess he had the first half. You're right. Yeah, but again, he's been the same exact player for the last 3 years, and that player is a valuable guy, especially in this spot.
I mean, listen, I believe that they gave Jerry Familia $8 million.
7. I believe it was 7, but exactly. Yes. I mean. Yeah. Exactly. Think about the money wasted. Think about the $7 million combined for freaking Matt Moore, who, belated.
Throw a no-hitter.
Chase Anderson, they gave $4 million to Chase Anderson. Like they, I mean, they've thrown money away. Dave has missed on these guys,
I know. I keep waiting for that patented move, but maybe Merrifield is that.
Merrifield, yeah.
But I just don't feel that. And once again, I feel like this podcast has to help calm the people down. This is what we're here for. he clearly makes them better and gives them insurance at a lot of spots and gives them a veteran bat off the bench that like probably won't strike out, which I appreciate. You're not gonna have the home runs. It's just, you know, if you wanted to just use Game 7 as an example, you know, he probably bats there for Rojas in the third and probably does a better job in that situation.
Probably. I mean, like, you never know, but I would be willing to bet more than I've ever bet on anything that he would. Yes.
You'd have confidence in that.
Yes,
situation.
I would. Yes, I would.
And they haven't had this kind of guy the last couple of years. You know, they've had some older bench guys, but like I don't even like they went so young with the bench last year, and it felt like a huge mistake when he got
other than Josh Harrison early on, and then that didn't work out. And Josh Harrison is not Whit Merrifield. Josh Harrison couldn't play the outfield, you know, realistically, you know, and Josh Harrison was nowhere close to the player that Whit Merrifield has been the last few years of prior to coming in terms of in his mid-30s, you know, and like. And again, like Josh Harrison looked like he couldn't run anymore. I mean, Whit Merrifield stole 26 bases last year.
Yep. You know, it's such a, and this is, I guess it's a respect kind of thing. It's such a like brave signing. You know what I mean? Where it's
totally.
Like, and the thing that Braves, and hopefully doesn't lead to, you know, a loss in the second rounds, but like the thing that they've done, I feel like so well the last couple of years is they always have that like guy who's been around.
Yeah,
forever.
the freaking Eddie Rosarios, the freaking Jock Petersons, these guys that they bring in. Adam Duvall, who have playoff. Jorge Soler. I mean, Jorge Soler led AL in homers.
Robbie Cano.
But they do. You're right.
Pablo Sandoval.
They bring in these guys and they have moments for them. Like I could absolutely see Whit Merrifield having big moments for this team in the playoffs. Plus, I like that. Look, he's a veteran who's never really had, who's, you know, was in Kansas City after they won and labored forever. You know, went to Toronto, you know, got a taste, has not had any real. Like he's someone I think is hungry, you know, and I think that's part of the reason he came here is he wants a chance to win. And I think he'll fit in really well in this clubhouse of guys who are clearly super hungry for it and have tasted, you know, being close to it and want it. I just think it's like, you know, on every level, it just seems like a perfect fit. I'm so shocked I thought this would be one of those like, oh, put up, you know, we know no Twitter polls ever 100%, but I thought it'd be like 90. Do you like the Whit Merrifield signing? 90%. Yes. Like I'm shocked.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
It feels like 50-50 out there.
I think that's probably strong. I think it's probably 70.
Is it more? Okay.
I think 70-30 people are mostly happy.
It's a vocal minority.
Yes. That, you know. Yeah, I mean, listen, we'll obviously see how it plays out. But obviously Rob Thompson like talked a lot this week. I like the messaging from Rob Thompson. You know, it feels a lot more like, I think they're always there to win, but it feels more poignant this time.
Totally.
You know, where it's like, you know, they got a taste of it and now they want to finish the job.
It's like they get it now. It's like, all right, we get it now. Like this is like,
and I brought this up on the air, and I actually meant to run it by you. And it was the interview that he did with Taryn, and Taryn brought up, she brought up the 83 Sixers, the we owe you one Sixers. Totally. And I was wondering if the mantra of this Phillies team needs to be the
great.
Like the we owe you one Phillies, because
I love that to us, the fans, yes, and the whole love affair. It's such a great call.
Yeah, I mean, think about the relationship that we had with the team last year, and the way they gave it back, and
they're all back. They're all back. You know,
they're all back. They're all back, and it's been so
team.
It's been so nice, and plus with Merrifield, but
exactly.
It's been so nice that, and maybe it's just because people missed baseball, but I haven't really had the sense. I know you're off the last couple of days, but we've done a lot of Philly shows the last 2 days. And I really haven't sensed the whole like wake me up when you get to the postseason.
Jack, I'm so happy you said this. So we've done a few Philly shows and just talked Phillies, and everyone I've talked to, people calling up like, we talked about this. I keep thinking I'm so happy you mentioned this because I want to talk to you about this too, because I remember so vividly us doing those, you know, painful shows when they lost and when talking
Mrs.
about
was mocking us. Yeah.
Yes, we remember. Thanks, Stacy. But like, remember talking about that thing where we're like, well, now it's like, you know, like there's no fun in it. It's like, you know, come back and like, gotta win. And it's just like, you know, this like, you know, thing. And I'm so with you, man. The way I feel And every person I've talked to, people go on the air, it's just like, I'm so freaking psyched for the Phils, man. I'm psyched for Phillies baseball to be back. I can't wait for this. And I do think, look, I think the way the Eagles collapsed and the way that ended probably helped, because people are like, all right, let this team, we thought that was pain. At least this team like really almost did get to the World Series and really did have a great, some run and some good stuff. Like, so I think that's part of it. But I also think, like, hope springs eternal. Time heals wounds. Like, it doesn't heal it. We don't forget the pain. It's not going away. But like, it's like, oh yeah, we're back. We love this team still. Like, that love affair doesn't just go away because they lost a couple games. Like, it's not like I stopped loving Bryce Harper because they lost in the playoffs. So that's back. We love baseball. It's our favorite sport. That's back, and people love baseball. And then, oh yeah, they are really good and have a chance to win the World Series again. So it's awesome, man. There's so much more excitement right now at this moment than at that time when we did those pods, we expected it to be.
Yeah, and that's because there are guys. Now, I am curious to see the Fanatics jerseys, how are they going to be able to fix them by opening day, because the early returns are not great.
It's what's funny is I feel like there are very few times where everyone is on board on something on social media where it's like everyone is like, oh yeah, this sucks. Normally there's people being like, no, it isn't suck, or this, that. Like, everyone agrees this Fanatics thing is a disaster. Like, these jerseys are awful. Like, it looks so like small time compared to what they're supposed to look like, what they look like, always. It's dang, buddy.
They look like video game jerseys. Like, it looks like the back of an MLB The Show jersey.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they honestly, it all looks on it. What it really looks like is it looks like a Jersey jersey almost. Yes, exactly. Yes, dude. Yeah. It's an abomination. Like, you better fix this, Michael Rubin. Like, this is not good. Buddy.
No, unless we got opening day around the corner. Like, we can't have those jerseys.
No.
When you see the jerseys, I don't even be able to see who's on the field.
Like, when fans are coming to the stadium in nicer jerseys than the players are wearing, you got a problem. Yeah,
it's a problem. It's a problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. The next thing it seems like that they hope to get done is the Wheeler extension. So
yeah,
like, that's probably how it rounds out this offseason. Like, they're probably done. I know the
Montgomery thing's hot, but it does feel like it's the Phillies are kind of being used in that. I think they're in on Montgomery, but it does feel like all this smoke is like, hey, the Phillies are here, guys. Don't let this happen, kind of thing,
Yeah. Well, and listen, it could be. I think they would sign up for like the perfect deal for them. Yeah. Like 1 or 2 years.
2 years, $40 million. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we'll go over the tax again. For the third tax for that one.
Yeah.
Now they'd probably have to get off time on for that. But regardless, this is probably it. Unless there's a trade out there for a more closing type. But again, like, they can figure that out at the deadline.
And I think they want to have the flexibility because right now they're what, like 15 million below that or 13 million below that next level, whatever it is, 14, whatever. There's somewhere in that range. I think they want to maintain that flexibility for the deadline so they can add pieces and stay under it potentially still at the deadline if they need to,
Yeah. And, I think they do want to give Kirk a chance to be the closer if need be. Mm-hmm. So it's not like the worst strategy. Like, you get Merrifield, he's a good insurance policy for if Rojas can't hit, or Marsh, he says he's gonna be ready for opening day. My big concern with that is it going to be, is he like going to be at least hitting before that? Or
I just don't see any way he's like ready. Like, I feel like this happened. First of all, I know we'll never get an explanation, but like, did he just hurt it now, or did he wait to have
he said he felt it after the Reds game last year.
So what are we doing here? What are we doing here? But I feel like this happens, every few years. You'll have a guy where this will happen, where it's like late in camp. It's like, oh, why'd he wait? This, that. We always have these discussions. I feel like the guy's never ready when the season starts because it's too important to have those at bats in spring training. Like, honestly, I actually think a bigger deal for Brandon Marsh's season than we're making it out to be. I think he's going to start slow, even when he does come back. I think it's going to take him a little while to get going. I feel like this happens every year.
He's going to start slow.
Did I say that? Hey, all right. This is the first time I've talked to anyone in like 4 days, I've been alone in my basement.
Yes. No, I agree. And it also allows them not to just have to rush him out there. If he looks slow, or it looks like the bat's a little bit off, his timing's not totally there, then it lets them just be like, all right, hold on, we'll get Merrifield out there, whatever. So it's a win-win all around. But unless like one of these closer trades come down, the Class A, but the Class A thing honestly felt more like a prelude to the deadline. And
setting the stage, setting the table type of thing.
Right. And you know exactly what you need at that point, and you hope that you don't just collapse. But they won't. I mean, like they have too many guys in that.
Yeah, like injuries is the only thing that could make it collapse.
For sure.
It's the only thing, and that's any team, any year, any season. The other thing too with the Marsh thing that I did, it's like I don't think is a bad part of it. And look, Rojas has to hit. He has to, prove that he can hit the major league level to stay there. But I do think that, Marsh starting slow, not having it kind of doesn't like there's no looking over the shoulder right away for Rojas. I think it gives him a chance to really kind of settle in and feel like it's his job if it's not constantly like Marsh is there switching in and out and stuff like that. So I do think that could be an unintended benefit of Marsh, maybe not being ready to go to start the season for what it's worth.
Yeah. But either way, it gives him a whole bunch of stuff. And the biggest part for me is that David Buchanan is no longer the oldest member of the team in camp. Can't happen. No. David Buchanan for me is perpetually 8 years old. You know what I mean? Like when he left in 2015, 2016, whatever. Like he's just stayed the same. He
I like that.
He can't
like Jonathan Pettibone is still 26 years old or whatever. I love this.
Sure.
This is a phenomenal take.
Brady Kosar.
I fully support this. I fully support this.
Thank you. David Buchanan cannot be 34 years old.
No, this is great. This is like a phenomenal. I'm such a big fan of this. This is some of your best work.
Thank you. I mean, you have David Buchanan, which they signed. They signed Ricardo Pinto out of nowhere. Which
how about it? Yes.
I mean, where's Yaxel Rios? Where's Edubray? Dude, I would love to bring back Edubray. Dude, Yaxel was good, man.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he had moments, dude. Well, Edubray had moments too. He's been all right. And what's his name? Who is the guy? He was good in San Diego.
Luis Garcia?
No. Not 3 name, but a San something or God. Enyel Del Santos. He's been good. He's a major league pitcher, Enyel.
Yeah, I mean the problem, and not to give it a big discussion about Enyel De Los Santos.
We definitely don't need that now. But Zoe and Emily would not be psyched if I was like, why'd you take so long? We had to dive deep on Enyel De Los Santos. Oh, is he a Philly? No, and hasn't been for a while.
Traded for?
Oh, I know this. My brain is foggy right now. This is gonna. Just tell me because I'm gonna swim.
Freddie goes.
Freddie go. Yeah.
And I believe I tweeted
San Diego. I should have. Yeah.
I believe I tweeted the second the trade happened. I said the Phillies won the trade. Poor Freddie. Man. I've looked back. Freddie's fine. It's more my war with Pete Buchanan.
I remember.
Second.
Yeah. And all the. People out there. It was the war with Pete Buchanan and all the Phillies fans and beat writers who would get on you about
could not get over that maybe he was.
Well, some believe that Freddie a better fielder than Andrelton Simmons. So that is
it's out there. No, it's 100% out there that opinion was shared. I do think it's funny though. The lineup in David Buchanan's last start. Do you want me to give it to you?
Yeah. So what year was it? 15 or 16?
So it was October 4th of 2015. What was?
Oh, wow. So that's like the last game of the season. 2015 was a miserable sports year. I mean, that was Chip. Like the end of Chip was coming at that point.
We're like beginning of that year.
That's the point. We're like a little bit of the way into it, so it's going to start falling apart there. It was like I think it might have been. Was that the 10-win Sixers? Yeah. I mean, like what a year. I mean, that's just a disastrous sports year. I was, just starting to make my way in the business.
Yeah, I think that was when I was an intern.
Yeah, I think you were. Yep.
Yeah. That's where we first met.
That's where we first met, buddy. How about it?
2015. Oh man, it's like a origin story. Do you remember the first thing I said to you?
No, I don't.
I said, oh, you're the guy that does the baseball podcast.
Nice.
Yeah. I never listened to it.
That's a good first line. No, I should do it. It was probably so bad back then. I was like, oh my God. Oh, so bad. So bad.
Yeah, I was sitting in the back desk. There's like 4 of us.
Give me dog bones.
Yes, always.
Yes,
always dog bones. I was making them every day. That's why I listened to radio.
That's why you gave to me. I remember.
Who would have thunk?
Here we are.
9 years later.
How about it, buddy?
Sad. All right. So in the leadoff spot, and this is again my war on Pete Buchanan, Freddie Galvis. What the hell are we doing, man? Freddie Galvis in the 1 spot. Aaron Altera batting second and playing
your
center
boy.
field.
Your boy.
Field. By the way, kind of lighten up the Caribbean series if you want to bring him back too. If we brought back everyone else,
sure, why not? I'm sure he could still hit.
Mike L batting third.
Of course he was.
Babe Ruff batting fourth in left field.
Wow. Wow. Left field. Wow. Jeez Louise. I thought Hoskins in left was bad. Jeez.
Jeff Francoeur in right. I didn't think Jeff Francoeur made it through the year.
I did not full disclosure. Did not remember Jeff Francoeur on the 2015 Phillies.
Oh no, you have to remember that.
I remembered that Jeff Francoeur was a Philly. I did not remember that it was in 2015.
Do you remember the
This was the 66 win team, right? Or no, they were the 1 year later. They were right there.
No, 66 because they drafted.
It was. Yeah. That's what I thought.
But do you remember the most important thing that happened in the Jeff Francoeur era as a Philly, like on the field?
No, but I will when you say it. I'm sure.
Okay, well, he was the one that came into pitch down in Camden Yards when I think it was Krantz was waving the waving the white flag, and Utley was so mad. Utley was so mad.
I remember that. That's great. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, by the way, it was just circulating on social media again. If anyone out there has never seen the Jeff Francoeur
prank,
getting tricked by his minor league team with the deaf teammate, like just Google Jeff Francoeur deaf teammate. You won't be disappointed. It is really, really great stuff.
Andres Blanco started at second base. I was a huge Andres Blanco fan. Like Andres Blanco on this team, they might win the World Series. 100%.
Yeah, I mean MVP probably.
Kratzy was the first baseman.
Of course he was.
And Cameron Rupp was the catcher.
Wow. Rupp and Ruff in the lineup. That's great.
So this is a serious question. This is a serious question to you.
Okay, good.
Do you think they'll ever be like that bad again? Are we going to see?
Of course.
Do you think?
Someday, really? Yeah. I mean, that's what happens. Yeah. But maybe not. I mean, you're saying that Dave Dombrowski is the person who has finally forever taken the Phillies away from being the Phillies.
Yes.
That's what you're saying. You're saying that never again will we fall that low. I love it.
And John Middleton.
Yeah, well, John, ultimately you're right. It is John Middleton. But I hope so, buddy. I mean, I'm just saying the odds are at some point they will. But yeah, dude, I'm not expecting it. Anytime I feel great. Now, in 6 years when we got, paying, $500 million to like a 40-year-old Bryce Harper and Trey Turner and this and that, who knows?
The nice part about that, and they don't really have many people committed after the.
No, it's fine. It's fine. The numbers, the cap's going to go up, or the tax will go up.
Look at you using the cap.
All this.
James.
Was that cancelable? Wow. I didn't know that calling the baseball luxury tax a salary cap was a cancelable thing. I will definitely rein that in the future. It's a really good point. Thank you.
Thank you. But what you're not factoring in when we're talking about like 34, 35-year-old Turner and 34 and 35-year-old Harper and like.
I was talking about 37, 38-year-old Turner and Harper, but yes, go ahead.
Okay,
yes.
But we're not factoring into that whole equation. Is that Aiden Miller exists? And
yes, that's true. And he's going to be like, and when you have Barry Bonds 2.0 on your team, it doesn't really matter who else is there.
Well, you remember the Middleton quote from, what was it, 2 months ago? Like right after we interviewed Preston, where he said like, listen, I'm not worried about spending money when I believe that we have like maybe the next Trey Turners and Bryce Harper's coming through the system. I'm like,
love it.
Calm down, big
Johnny.
fella. Calm down, big fella. Dude,
love him.
If we ever develop a player as
I do love him. John, you're so. I mean, like, thank you, John Middle. I mean, the Phillies just. I mean, we're in the second luxury tax. Like, they're just spending. They still could sign Jordan. Like, it wouldn't be crazy. Like, because he spends. Like, it has been so lovely. And the way he talks about it, like, again, like how many. I don't care how much money I spend. Quotes can you throw out there, and then keep backing it up. It's wonderful. There are many, many, many. We don't curse on this pod, but I will say bleepy baseball owners. We have one of the great ones. That's very, very awesome.
Yes.
And yes, John Fisher, I'm talking about you. Sorry.
What a bleep show that is out there. Holy cow.
Dude, unbelievable, right?
Holy cow.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Holy cow. But yeah, because I looked at the line, I remember the times, and like just remembering the players, that they've had, and it's just
it's great to be where we're at.
I would be surprised if it gets like that bad again. Like the Yankees never get that bad.
That's true. No, you're right.
It would have to be obviously a horrible.
I mean, look, the Braves haven't been that bad since the '80s.
Yeah, there's going to be some horrible years mixed in there, I'm sure, like with injuries and whatnot. But like, I don't know. I think.
But here's the thing. I think the thing that your point is might be down years, but there will be guys on the team that are worth it and that are part of the next thing because they'll draft well and they'll develop well, and we believe in this and all this, the infrastructure and all that. Whereas like that team you listed, like literally none of those players had careers. Like they were all bad. Like Freddie had the best career of the bunch. I think maybe I mean, think about it. Like it's a disastrous group of players. Like that is like, you have to be, there's not even hope there. So that, I think that, no, I agree with you. I think that at least in our lifetimes, that will never happen.
Well, and they're never gonna. I'd be shocked if they ever went a decade without making the playoffs. I'd be, especially with they're only gonna keep increasing the amount of playoff teams and all that stuff. So
that's true.
David Buchanan's back. Welcome back, buddy.
Welcome back. I said 30 minutes. We're at 36. I told him leave at 30, but that's good. All right, let's take bag now. I'm assuming you Turnbull real quick because he is a Fritz guy. I'm sure you talked about in the mailbag though, didn't you? I haven't listened.
All right, so I just want to let you what's your Spencer Turnbull?
I'm excited. I love Spencer Turnbull. It's a Fritz guy, So dude, for those who don't know, what every year in fantasy, Jack will send me his because we're not in a league together, so he'll hook me up with like his. He calls him.
Well, we were in a league. We're
in a league together,
and you took like 4 of them right before me. So
I know, and I made the finals. But you also stopped paying attention to that league very quickly. I know, and I went to the finals. But every year Fritz gives me his list of like Fritz guys, his pitchers and it's from like there. It's not like top guy. He's not like Corbin Burns or whatever. It's like all guys who would go from maybe like the 7th to 10th round and much later. And like his hit rate is unbelievable. Like it is incredibly impressive. And Spencer Turnbull has long been a Fritz guy.
Yes, he has been. And
so I'm excited. He's got stuff. It's a good low risk, high reward.
He used to have stuff. We'll see.
If he's healthy, it's all we'll see.
Dude, he was at like 93 last year. It was sad.
Yeah,
it was sad because peak.
What was about? Yeah.
No, it was funny because obviously being on WIP and hosting every day, like with Ike, like someone called in and it's like, what do you think about the Spencer Turnbull signing? And I was thinking in my head, I had like producer ear. I was like, dude, I could easily do 5.
I could do, just you. Let me cook, buddy. I clear out. Let me cook.
Yeah. But I was like, you know what? I'll give you a quick minute. But even the minute, I was like, we got to get out of here.
You felt like you should. I totally get it. I would have been like, get off Spencer Turnbull. Get off Spencer.
Yeah, you're wasting your time.
I love it. For what it is, for $2 million, sure. I think it's a nice upside play. They need starting pitching depth, and we know they're not going to spend unless the Montgomery thing happens. They're not going to spend a ton of money. They have stuff in the minors that we're excited about, but I think Turnbull's a really nice guy who's been hurt. Maybe you can use your the biomechanics, the stuff they've been doing here, all this stuff to kind of get him healthy and get his stuff right. And if you do, like, he's a guy who could give you some innings, over the course of a season. So I think it's a nice move.
I feel like it's been a while since I've had one of these, like real high hopes, kind of takes.
I know.
If things go well, he could be a number 3. I mean that, dude. I'm telling you what, man. Like, if he gets back to prime Spencer Turnbull, they might have found a third starter for a $2 million. Like Jordan Montgomery, who? I don't know. But listen, he's got a minor league option. So, he can start. He's probably going to start at AAA.
Yeah,
I'm sure. Velocity back up, 96, 97. Get that slide. Get that. The last thing that usually comes off of Tommy John is command. It's like short game in golf. It's the last thing that kind of comes back when you're coming off an injury.
Us golfers know.
Yeah, everyone knows that. Everyone knows that. I still have a short game. Like there's no injury. There's no injury. It's just lack of. I hate it. I hate short game. I hate putting.
Well, you're
I hate
still
short games.
much better at it than I am. So.
I just like hitting the ball far.
I don't have any game.
Ball go boom. But yeah, I can't wait for everyone that I'm excited about in spring training. Actually, like I can't wait to see obviously Abel and like some of the kids pitch late in games. There's nothing that caters more to what I care about.
Oh, I know, buddy.
The late inning of spring training games.
Oh, we know.
But I just
coming on here and saying ridiculous things, and me saying don't overreact to spring training, and then us doing it again the next year and the next year. Yep, we know. We got it.
Yeah, and every year I say I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it. And then Pivetta throws 100 against the Cardinals.
Yeah.
It's like, well, what do you want me to
over
do?
under 5 pitchers you say who are not going to make the roster or will be like up and out, down and back, that you say are going to be like the next, Hector Neris.
The McKinley Moore trade did not age well.
No, it did not.
I was so McKinley'd up.
DFA'd.
He got DFA'd.
You got DFA'd.
I was glad they were able to retain Simone Muzziotti, though. I want to make sure that they were able to bring him back.
It's the important stuff. Yes. Yes.
Things that matter. Your show debated this on Friday.
Ooh.
No, Thursday. Thursday. Do you want them to retire Dancing on My Own?
Yes.
So here's my counter.
So as soon as I said that, I thought about being at the ballpark for it, and it made me really sad. It made me really sad. So you know what? No, I changed my mind in the moment. You don't need, honestly, say whatever you were going to say anyway, but you don't need to sell me. Like my answer when I said it and how I felt in my soul about it told me all I needed to know. Bring it back.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking, me, you, obviously a bunch of high hopes listeners at the ballpark. They beat the Braves again. And Dancing on My Own comes on. It's the greatest, dude. It's the most.
I need it. I'm in.
Unifying. It's impossible. It's almost impossible to replicate, frankly.
Yeah.
And like Francisco tried to do a top 5 replacements for it. And I mean, horrible list. And I'm sure we already discussed it on the air, so he knows that it was a horrible list.
Yeah, well, I'm not surprised. Francisco and I don't have the same taste in music, I would say, based on the tweets of his taste in music. I would guess that very different.
Dude, one of the songs was "Break Stuff" by
dude.
Limp
Bizkit. And no offense to people who like it, and I'll never rip anyone for liking what they like, but like the death metal, dark metal, loud metal, like even just metal, period. It's not for me. It's not my thing. Sorry, guys. Not my thing. Not into it.
It's so hard to replicate a song where people can sing along to it, and Stott's A-OK. Perfect. You know what I mean?
It's why Sweet Caroline in Boston works so well. Like, it's these songs that people either learn the lyrics to or know the lyrics to and enjoy. Like Sweet Caroline, everyone sings at a bar together. When you're at a bar, it's like those type of songs that have that
Dancing on My Own
feel.
To do Sweet Caroline.
Oh, what a take, buddy! Yes.
No one better.
That's the official take.
Dancing on My Own to New Sweet Caroline and Whit Merrifield to Philly. That's the title of the podcast.
We did it.
215-592-9494.
This is fun, buddy. I needed this. All right.
Well, we'll be back on a way more consistent schedule now.
Yes. Now we're back. It's baseball season. I have, I likely won't get sick again soon. I would hope. So I think we're in good shape. So, all right. I should go though, because I do have a daughter and wife. You got anything else you want to get to before we get out of here?
No, but Ricardo Pinto has added an interesting story. He really has. No, he really has. He really has. It's good numbers in the Caribbean
I believe
series.
it, man. I believe it. Yeah, Ricardo Pinto passes the name test. So
yeah, it was former Philly great. Member of the 2017 team.
Yeah. It's good work. That legendary 2017 team. Dude, Go watch that yearbook. I bet that you could use that tonight.
Don't tempt me with a good
All right. We'll be back this week soon. Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
And freaking go time. Baseball games. Phillies games coming up. What is it? Saturday, the first one?
I think 11 days. Is
Saturday is the first one, right? No, I think it's sooner, right? Isn't there? There's a game 1 week from today. I'm almost positive. Or it's like a split squad or something.
I hope so. I thought it was the 28th, but I could have been 100% wrong.
You're usually right about this stuff, not
me. Because
28th is the start of the baseball season in March.
No.
Maybe you got that confused?
Yeah, maybe.
Date-wise?
Maybe. Oh yeah, the 24th. Oh,
What'd I say, buddy?
Are we doing a post game? Are we doing a post game pod reaction?
Probably. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. We'll figure it out. Either way, we'll be back before then to preview it, obviously. So, let's go. Let's go.
Great.
All right. We'll talk to you guys this week. This was fun. Whit Merrifield. Get excited. It's okay to be excited about the Whit Merrifield signing, I promise. All right. We'll be back later. He's Fritz and Seltzer.